Abigail Nyumo and her boyfriend, Prince Akwe, lived together in a single room in Nekuma village. The two had a son who was only 2 years old at the time of this bizarre incident. Abigail and Prince struggled financially. They both sold food items in the market. According to Abigail, Prince had always had big plans of making it and providing her with a lavish lifestyle. She recounted that after the birth of their son, he grew more and more impatient and wanted a means to get rich quick. In February 2021, according to Abigail, Prince revealed to her that she had found a way to become rich, and that if anything should happen to their child, she should not worry, because it was all a part of his plans to become a millionaire. She did not take him seriously because it was hard for her to imagine him doing anything to cause harm to their only child. However, Prince had in mind a very sinister plan. On April 20th, 2021, at around 2 p.m., Abigail's 2-year-old son went to his father and asked him for money to buy a snack. It is reported that Prince promised his son 5 cedis and told him to come with him. Unbeknownst to the little boy, his father had finally mastered the courage to carry out his devious plans. He lured his son to a cliff, and while he thought no one was looking, he picked up the boy and threw him into the ocean. According to Abigail, she was at home sleeping when neighbors rushed to the room, screaming that her boyfriend had thrown their son into the sea. She rushed to the scene. Upon arrival, some good Samaritans had already saved her son from drowning. He was quickly rushed to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, but unfortunately, he passed the next day on April 21st, 2021. Abigail immediately reported the matter to the police, and her boyfriend, Prince, was arrested. Apparently, Prince, out of desperation to escape poverty and live large, had joined a cult that promised to make him rich. It was expected of Prince to make a human sacrifice as part of the laws of the group before he attained wealth. So Prince was following instructions given to him by the leaders of the cult. He was charged with murder and sentenced to death in 2023. Prince Akwe is only 33 years old and is currently awaiting execution. On March 12, 2021, a 16-year-old boy was caught by people in Agogo Market in the Ashanti region of Ghana, breaking into the shop of Mr. Francis Obeng Amoako, a 79-year-old man. Like many other thieves caught in the act by civilians, the 16-year-old was made to endure a series of punishments for his crime. 79-year-old Mr. Francis Obeng Amoako, along with 24-year-old Akwesi Mafu, 65-year-old Boache Dankwa, 53-year-old Osei Bonsu, 26-year-old Prince Asedu, and 30-year-old Obeng Mensah tied the 16-year-old's hands to his back and tied his legs as well. They then beat him mercilessly. After that, they pulled down his boxer shorts, bent him over, and inserted a stick into his anus while recording the horrendous act. The video of the abuse went viral and sparked public outrage. Mr. Francis Obeng Amoako, along with the 5 perpetrators, were arrested on Friday, 2nd February 2021. The case was taken to court. Obeng Mensah and Osei Bonsu were discharged by the judge, noting that though they were seen in the video, they did not actively partake in the heinous crime. However, the remaining 4 were sentenced to varying degrees of incarceration. Mr. Francis Obeng Amoako, who was 80 at the time, was sentenced to 1 year of imprisonment due to his age and health condition. Akwesi Mafu and Prince Asedu were given 5 years imprisonment each, and Mr. Boache Dankwa was slapped with 6 months imprisonment for hitting the boy's head with his keys. Following the attack, the victim was hospitalized and underwent surgery. The judge in the case, Hehana Nana Asantewa Atakra, is reported to have sternly warned against mob lynching, advising the public to report people suspected or caught in the act of committing crimes to be reported to the police for the law to take its course. On August 8, 2023, at around 11 p.m., two friends, Adongo Salifo and James Nyameche, had just feasted on a meal prepared with dog meat and washed it down with some alcohol in Nyameche's house. Shortly after eating, the two friends got in a heated argument. During the argument, Adongo picked up a knife and in a scuffle, he slashed Nyameche's wrist with it, causing him to bleed profusely. When Nyameche realized how serious his bleeding was, he cut some nearby herbs and placed it on the cut to stop the bleeding. But it did nothing to help, as he collapsed shortly after. He was rushed to Bibiani Government Hospital, but around 2 a.m. he lost his life. Nyameche's family were torn by what had happened. Those who knew the two reported that they argued a lot but were the best of friends. Because of this, the family was hesitant to report the case to police. Had it not been for the hospital officials insisting that the incidents be reported to the police, the family would not have done so. Upon hearing that Nyameche had died from the wound he had inflicted on him, Adongo took to his heels to avoid arrest. At the time of this report, he is still at large and police say they are working around the clock to catch him so the law will take its course. On Tuesday, August 15, 2023, Gabriel Na, a 69-year-old farmer, received a distressing phone call informing him that his brother, Kweku Emmanuel, had been savagely attacked and killed. Upon hearing this, Gabriel rushed to his brother's house, where he discovered him lying in a pool of his own blood with deep wounds on his body. This incident happened at Tesanya, a suburb in Nuaso in the lower Menya-Krobo municipality of the Eastern region. As it turns out, 79-year-old Kweku Emmanuel had taken in his nephew, Eric Na, and was living with him in his home. According to reports, Eric is a 26-year-old young man believed to be mentally challenged. Sad part about this case is that Kweku Emmanuel, the 79-year-old man who had been butchered, was blind, and his nephew lived with him so he could assist him with day-to-day activities. The two are reported to get into frequent arguments. On the day of the killing, like many different days prior, the two had gotten into an argument and Eric could not hold his temper. He took a machete and attacked his elderly uncle, inflicting fatal wounds to his neck and arm, resulting in his immediate death. Neighbors heard the screams of the old man, but when they got to the scene, it was too late. The fatal cut to his neck was enough to kill him on the spot. Police were called, and upon investigation at the scene, it appeared that the victim had deep cuts on his left arm and his neck, as well as his back and other parts of his body. The machete used in the crime was recovered from the scene and retained by the police as evidence. Eric was taken into custody, and on Tuesday, August 15, 2023, Eric Na was brought before the Somenya District Magistrate Court, where he was remanded into prison custody.